The concept of WeKNOW is to share stories that, when shared, will help others, even if they're difficult stories to share. And I thought I would start with one of the stories that is really difficult for me to share because it's very painful. Even though I've come out the other side, it's always difficult for me to talk about my experience with cystic acne. My story with cystic acne started, in puberty when I was in high school. I think it might have been earlier. And it was really, really painful, not only physically, but also in my interactions with people. All I could think about was what was going on my face. So it affected my self-esteem tremendously. And I went through a number of different remedies, doctors, etc., and nothing ever really worked. And randomly, my father and I were talking about some skin issue he had had, and he remembered his mother using apple cider vinegar. And I figured, at the time, I had been on benzoyl peroxide and sulfur boosters and all this other stuff. I had been through Accutane, and none of that had worked. It had always come back. My acne had always come back. And I wanted to go the natural route. I was on my holistic health path, trying to eat my own dog food, walk the talk. And I decided, well, what the hell? Let me try it on my skin. And I started morning and night using apple cider vinegar as a toner after I cleansed. And interestingly enough, at the same time, I was seeing a new esthetician, because I'd been through a number of those over the course of my life. And she had been trying all these natural products, and I could see she was getting frustrated. And I didn't wear makeup, so all of the stuff was always visible. And then when I went to go see her, it was just worse, that whole thing. So when I started using the apple cider vinegar, she started to see a difference. And she thought that it was she had actually prescribed me some Retin-A, and I had not taken it. And she thought it was the Retin-A. And fast forward 2 weeks, she sees a difference. 4 weeks, she sees even more of a difference, and she tells me, I'm so glad we decided to do the Retin-A. Well, that was the time that I revealed to her that I did not use the Retin-A and that I was using apple cider vinegar, and she was incredulous. Now, what's interesting is I continued to use it, and it continued to improve, and her amazement was really interesting, because I wound up going on Amazon and looking at the reviews for Bragg's, the most popular raw, organic, with the mother apple cider vinegar, what reviews Bragg's had. And most of the reviews were about people who had used them for skin conditions. And I was so surprised that this wasn't as well known in the medical community as a potential option. Obviously, not everything works for everybody, disclaimer, but it really did work for me. And I have told a couple of people about this, and all of the people that I've told that have been dealing with various skin conditions have always seen some sort of benefit from it. At the same time, I see a lot of articles about what apple cider vinegar will do to your skin in terms of stripping it, etc. And my cousin, who used it for her sort of slight acne, she experienced some dryness, and she diluted it, and she now uses it periodically. So clearly you have to figure out what your skin will tolerate. But I can't tell you how much of a difference it has made for me personally. And I'm getting a little choked up just thinking about it. When I wrote a blog post some time ago about this, and even looking at the pictures of my acne was extremely painful. Realizing what my talking to people about my experience has meant, the feedback people have given me about the results they've had, I really did have it on my heart to share this with a broader audience. And I think it also demonstrates the power of WeKNOW and sharing stories that can help others. So I share this in the hopes that it will help people. I encourage people to ask questions, and just like with everything else with sharing stories, you may find someone in your circle that has done this, has used this. And I do want to give a little shout out to my play auntie, Lynn, who to me said to me today, just in passing, your skin looks really beautiful. And it is always because I suffered with acne for close to, I think it's 30 years. Whenever someone tells me that my skin looks beautiful, or even when I myself feel my skin and there are no rocks, there was not, in the past, there was not a place on my face that you could touch that didn't have some part of a cyst ultimately. And the feeling you have, I just want others to have that if that's possible and if it works for them. So that's my my story, and I hope that someone can benefit from it.